Wednesday at 9 a.m. on Top of the World. You deserve the world.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
All right, 6 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Robin, you got back from, when did you come back from New York? Tuesday night, right?
Tuesday night, midnight.
Tuesday night. And I went to the airport to pick you up, and your flight was really, really late.
3 hours late.
3 hours late. So I was sitting there, and I had a coffee from Starbucks. In fact, I think I ate something from every concession in that airport, to be honest with you. But anyway, so I'm sitting there with my coffee, and I had for the first time chocolate-covered coffee beans. Which, you know, when you chew a coffee bean, you know what you end up with in your mouth? Pieces like coffee grinds. It's But anyway, so a woman came up to me and she said, I'm not a frequent traveler, and I hope you don't think I'm being too forward, but can you help me out? I said, well, let me find out what you need. She said, I don't know where to go get my baggage. So I said, oh, well, hold on. I've been looking at this all night long. So I go to this big electronic board, and on the board it shows, you know, all the flights and everything, and it tells you where you can get your baggage, depending on which flight you got off on. And I showed it to her, and she thought I was a genius, and she said, are you a computer genius? And I said, no, I'm just looking at the board all night long. But the other thing I was doing, I was thinking about traveling. Because you just went on a trip. I'm just itching to go someplace. Stephanie Oswald is on the phone. We've had her before. She's the travel girl. I got to ask her if she got married. She's got a different last name on her website. She is an Emmy award-winning journalist, an award-winning international travel expert, the editor-in-chief of Travel Girl magazine. It goes on and on and on. She's been on CNN, the Weather Channel, and even on our show before. So she's talking to us today about some out-of-this-world travel adventures. Stephanie Oswald. Good morning, Stephanie. How are you?
Good morning. It's always good to be talking to you guys.
Where are you?
I am always good to talk about travel. I'm in New Orleans, where we are carefully looking at this hurricane and, you know, feeling bad for Texas, but just hoping it stays. And I'm sure you guys are thinking the same thing.
Right, sure, absolutely, yeah. Stephanie, did you get married?
Well, here's the thing. So, yes, I got married. It'll be 2 years. It'll be 2 years. And I heard you say that. I thought, oh boy, hopefully my mother-in-law is not listening. But it's an ongoing debate in our house because I was Stephanie Oswald, you know, for so long. And I'm now Stephanie Oswald Langlois. But of kind of slowly integrating it because all my social media and everything is Stephanie Oswald.
I got you, right.
My mother-in-law said, oh, my last name isn't good enough for you. And I was like, oh, it's definitely good enough. So it's like I feel bad because I don't want to hurt her feelings. But, you know, I'm trying to kind of find the happy medium here.
I'm sure the world is fine. If we can deal with Schwarzenegger, I'm sure we can deal with Langlois. Is that how you say it? Langlois?
Right?
Langlois? Okay.
Thank you. That was pretty good. Yeah, Langlois. It's French. Yeah, it's Langlois.
Langlois.
Well, okay, so I have a question for you. And this is to, in order to answer this question, I have to admit that I do not have a really good cell phone. All right. I have a track phone, and everybody at the airport, the story I told was true. Everybody's got these phones, and you remember when I was a younger guy, probably the age you are now, I would travel more than I do now. And I'd go to airports, and they had these TVs, and you put a quarter in, and you could watch TV. The TV was stuck to a chair. Okay. There was nothing to do.
Oh, my God.
I know. There was nothing to do for 3 hours in this airport, and everybody was looking at their phones. All I could look at on my phone was my contact list.
Well, I have to say, it's time for you to get a new phone, number one. Absolutely, for sure. But number two, I was thinking while you were telling that story, I thought, why didn't he look up the flight at home? Unless you live 3 hours from the airport, there's no reason why you should have to be at the airport for 3 hours, because most of the airlines, and I'm sure, Robin, you are on a reputable airline.
Yes, I am.
Updates. So I would think, you can get these updates on your phone, and it'll tell you right away, hey, this is delayed by an hour, this is delayed by 2 hours. And in New Orleans, we actually have a cell phone lot where you can park, and then people look at their phones and check to make sure. And if the flight's not coming in, can go home.
All right, I got to defend myself here. This is not the fault of my phone. This is the fault of the fact that I get up at 3 a.m. And I was afraid because I did know that the flight was going to be late. I didn't know how late, but I knew it was going to be late. But I left anyway because I just needed to get there. Because if I'm going to fall asleep, I'd rather fall asleep at the airport than at the wheel.
Exactly.
Okay, that's a good point. All right, I'll take that. I'll take that. That's good. That's very smart.
Or if I fell asleep at home, waiting for the 3 hours to pass, then it would have been 2 o'clock the next morning, and Robin would have said, "Where is he?"
I would have taken a nap waiting for you.
Now, I might say in that case, depending on the timing there, I might have been like, okay, I'll pay for your Uber and find another way home from the airport.
All right.
But I got to go to sleep.
All right, so now you brought up Uber, and that's another thing. We have a trip planned for the Thanksgiving week.
Yep.
For New York City. I think I may have shared this with you once before. But anyway, so I'm as a kid who grew up in New York, taxis was second nature. But it seems like everybody does Uber. Do I need that thing on my phone?
Not in New York, but in a lot of other places you do. Like here in New Orleans, the cab drivers will get mad at me for saying this, but an Uber is a lot easier to get than a cab here in New Orleans, especially if you're not right downtown. So depending on where you are, and in Chicago, I've used Uber all over the place. It really depends on where you are, but Uber, the great thing about Uber is because it's on your phone, and I'm sorry to say, Larry, it's not on your track phone, but once you have for on your phone, it really makes it easy because you just click on it and boom, the car is going to find you, and it's all paid for, and everything is, it's all about convenience.
All right, next time you're on, I'm going to be bragging about my new phone. You just helped me make up my
iPhone 7.
How far in advance do you need to plan for a cruise? Is that like a year away?
Well, here's the thing. Okay, we're talking about out-of-this-world adventures, and the reality is you got to figure out what adventure means to you. And for some people, it can be something totally spontaneous, or it's something that you want to plan. It's such a big adventure. You need to plan. You're going to hike Mount Kilimanjaro. You got to plan that a year or more in advance if you want to do it right and get the best bang for your buck. But for a spontaneous, cruises are a great option for a spontaneous traveler because especially this time of the year, because you can go online and just see what's available. A lot of times they've got last-minute deals. Unfortunately, being hurricane season, the Caribbean often has great deals this time of year. I do recommend getting travel insurance because if something happens, like a Hurricane Harvey or something else, where you just can't take the trip, if you've got the insurance, then at least your wallet will be saved, even if you can't salvage the vacation. But in general, cruises are a great option, and especially if you want to be spontaneous.
Where's your what's on your bucket list? What's a travel destination that you really want to go to that you haven't gone to yet?
The Galapagos. That is definitely on my bucket list.
Really?
And I'm actually planning a cruise with my... just for the wildlife, the nature.
The big turtles.
Yes, and the dodo birds.
The dodo. Yeah. Do you know when I was a kid so long ago, the dodo bird was extinct back then.
Well, they had those quarter televisions at the airport too. That's right. I've heard of that.
Yeah, dodo birds came back. No, dodo bird. I'm telling you the truth. When I was a kid in school, it had a list of all the animals that are extinct, and it said the dodo bird was extinct. And then later on, there was a story.
To be fair.
What was that?
Go ahead.
Well, then there was a story later on that said no, the dodo bird is not extinct.
Yeah, they're making a comeback.
Because I could be wrong. Maybe it's the blue-footed booby.
No. No, I know her too. But no, you're telling the truth. The dodo bird it does live now.
When you talk about out of this world travel adventures, sometimes financially you're not able to even leave your own particular state. So can you make an in area where you live vacation and adventure unto itself?
You absolutely can, Robin. And, the key there is to sit down. If you're going to take a map and look around and see. I'm sure there are places. I mean, I can think of places right here in New Orleans. Recently, I was lucky enough to visit these beautiful gardens along River Road, and there's one place, it's called the Homus House, and it's a plantation and gardens. Now, I've lived in New Orleans for 7 years, on and off, back and forth from Atlanta, and I had never been to this place, and now I'm going to try and go as much as possible because it's so gorgeous, and it was right in my backyard, like an hour's drive away, and just incredible, like a European garden right here in my own backyard. So there are these places that exist, and again, it's doing a little homework, but there's also another little trick, and I'm going to be a devil's advocate here, because if you're looking for a girlfriend getaway, that's a real splurge, and it's also it's a couple's getaway too, because the guys can sit back and relax at the ranch while the girls go off horseback riding. But I'm going to tell you about something that's one of my favorites. It's called Clicks for Chicks, and it's an event that happens every fall at Triple Creek Ranch in Montana. And the thing that I love about it is, now you're spending a lot of money, it's a splurge, it's like $1,000 a night, but you're raising money for Parkinson's disease.
Oh, so, great.
You don't have to feel guilty because you're going on this amazing trip. It's a bucket list adventure, to be sure, but you're also raising money for a great cause. So that's something that I just highly recommend. If you are feeling guilty and thinking, find one of your favorite causes and go to the website for that charity and see what's going on. A lot of times they will have links to adventures that are raising money or certain events that you could plan a trip around that it might cost you some money, but again, you're doing a good deed as well.
Stephanie Oswald is our guest, and she is the travel girl, and we are taking a little break right now, Stephanie, but we'll be right back to talk to you about some more out-of-this-world travel adventures that we can perhaps write down and perhaps do. And I'm curious if any of them are literally out of this world.
Oh, yeah.
With this whole Elon Musk stuff.
Yeah.
We'll take a break and find out on the other side.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accidents. Clouds will limit sunshine Friday. A couple of showers and a heavy thunderstorm in the area, high 86 to 90. Rather cloudy Friday night with a shower or thunderstorm, especially near the coast, low 73 to 77. Variable cloudiness for Saturday with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm. Some can be heavy, the high 85 to 89. For Sunday, mostly cloudy with a shower and thunderstorm or two, high 86 to 90. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
Yep, we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too.
Well, as a matter of fact, join me, Matt Gibbs from Sunrise Automotive, every Tuesday at 10 for auto repair with personal care right here on The Source.
Stay informed on everything going on in the Villages with the Village Spectator newspaper. The Village Spectator is exclusively devoted to the Villages with news, commentary, and more. And yes, they have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 804-1223 and pick up your copy of the Village Spectator today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
All right, 20 minutes after 11 o'clock. I love Stephanie Oswald. I love when we talk. Maybe one day we'll actually get her to take a trip to Ocala, Florida, and come into the studio. Have you ever been here, Stephanie?
I haven't, and I need to do that. I definitely do.
You do. We could show you some of the things around here. We got a state park, and we got another state park, and
they're beautiful.
No, you know. Seriously, is the one thing I would recommend if you ever came here. You tube down the river. It's about 4 hours.
Yeah.
You put your butt in the tire tube, and it is the most beautiful. I know. It's just 4 hours of.
That sounds great.
It is great,
especially early in the morning with the otters.
Say it again, Steph.
Oh, I love it. That sounds great. 4 hours and the wildlife comes along too. That sounds really good.
Yeah, it's so nice as long as it's early in the morning.
By the way, have you ever seen the fashions of your publicist? Your publicist is also a celebrity in her own right. It's a fashion designer.
Yes. She has beautiful, beautiful bags and coats, and Couture by Alicia. Definitely check that out.
Listen to you.
She's got a great Facebook page, and She's on Instagram.
So do you do you have any recommendations for luggage? I got a Robin story for you. Ready? Robin went to her see her son last week.
And my daughter-in-law.
So they have a 50-pound limit on the bag she can take on whatever. They put it under the plane. And so she says, we got to take it to the grocery store where they have a scale. It's Publix. I don't know if you got Publix up there. But anyway, so we bring it to Publix. It looks like we're heading into an airport when we're going into the grocery store. And we put it on the scale, and it was on the nose. It was 50 pounds on the nose.
Excellent. That's a girl after my own heart.
There you go. I love that.
But here's the trick. Okay, here's the little trick. Okay, go to the drugstore or go to, you can go anywhere, but you know how they have these, any store that has bags that are reusable? You should always have one of those reusable bags folded up, and they have some that can actually fit in the palm of your hand, but that is definitely a must-have whenever you're traveling, because if you got stuck in a position where you had a really cranky travel person at the desk, and they said, oh, I'm sorry, this bag is 54 pounds, you have to take something out, or we're going to charge you a bunch of money. If you've got this little bag, you can just pull out a pair of shoes, maybe a book, and then there's your 4 pounds.
There you go. That would do it.
What a great idea.
4-pound book. That's a big book.
Yeah. With shoes.
All right. So before the...
you never know. You never know.
Before the break, I was hinting at my question now. So there was a story that said, and this was earlier this year, in the spring of 2018, we will see a news story about 2 people going to the moon. Is it the Tesla thing or the Elon Musk, whatever it is?
Elon Musk.
Yeah. So they're going to travel to the moon. Now, they're not going to get out. They're just going to travel to the moon, I guess, circle around at one time and then come back. It's got to be 2 gazillionaires that are going to do this because it's a secret who they are.
Right.
But do you see this as something the average person is going to be doing like in 10 years or 20 years?
I think in 20 years, yes, absolutely. I think sky travel, people like Richard Branson are going to make that type of thing more accessible. It's going to start out just like air travel started out. First it was the ships. Only the rich people were, you remember from watching the Titanic, only the rich people were on the beautiful ships going across the ocean. Then it was the same thing with airlines, and then the next phase will be going into space. I mean, for me personally, I don't know. There's so many things I want to do down here, but it does sound like a great, great, great adventure. But I'm sure there are lots of kinks that need to be worked out. And, seeing the view of Earth from the spaceship, I mean, we're so lucky to be able to see these images when the astronauts go up into orbit. So I can imagine it would be such a great thrill. But, I think we definitely have at least probably 20 years before it becomes common.
Yeah. By the way, you said that almost everything you want to do is down here. I would just take away the word almost. Everything I want to do.
No moon trip for you.
Everything that I want to do is right here. Yeah.
What's really amazing about your topic, Out of This World Travel Adventures, my son and his wife, they wanted to have a large vacation this year. They planned for 3 weeks, and they had a castle theme. So they went up to England and Scotland and Ireland, and then they did everything online themselves. They checked out all the areas about the different castles and where they should stay and car rentals and things, and that's a process in itself to do it all by yourself.
Yes, it's a job. I mean, I tell people, look, if you're going to invest time and money in your vacation, then you better invest some time in planning it. And if you don't want to do it, then hire somebody else to do it or delegate it to someone else who's traveling with you. But it is definitely something that takes time if you want to do it right. And, it's funny you mentioned castles, because that's another thing that's on my bucket list. My father and mother and my husband and I are going to try and do I've actually never done one of the river barge tours in Europe, and we're hoping to do that next year. And my dad wants to go to castles, so we're thinking of doing the Danube, and that it looks like just an incredible area. And his family is from what used to be Czechoslovakia, so we're going to try and go along the Danube and check out the castles. And I've been doing some research, and the options, there are just so many options, but it's so exciting just to be able to plan the trip is exciting. So.
Next time you're in New York, I don't know if you ever go out to Queens. It's not too many tourists go to Queens, but there's but there's a castle there. You will love it. They've got these little tiny hamburgers. Oh my gosh. It is.
No.
It is so good, Stephanie. You will love it. We have
I don't eat hamburgers. I don't eat hamburgers, so forget the hamburgers.
Well, they got holes in them.
I don't do hamburgers, but I'll tell you. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, we're stepping on each other because of the delay. Do you have children? Not to be too personal, but because
no, I do. Yes, I have a 9-year-old and a 10-year-old.
Oh, you do?
Who's about to be 11, and then I have 2 stepdaughters who are 19 and 23. So, but my little ones, I travel with them as much. They're not so little anymore, but I still consider them little. But they're great little travelers. I try to raise them right. Yes, they love everything. It's exciting.
Well, do you know what starts tonight in Disney is Mickey's Not So Scary Christmas.
Halloween.
Halloween. Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween. It starts tonight. Can you believe it? Tonight it starts.
Oh, well, I can believe it, sadly, because if you walk in the stores, in between all the back-to-school stuff is the Halloween decorations and the Halloween costumes. So, I'm not ready for that. But, there's still time to have this adventure, and that's why I think we need to get away from the Halloween, get away from the back-to-school, and take a trip. And, you asked me about out of this world. There are some places where you can feel like you're out of this world, and I want to give you one that's, really far away, and then one that's closer to home.
Okay.
The one that's really far away. Okay, so I was lucky enough to go to China over the summer, and there is a city called Hangzhou, China, and the nickname Why are you laughing?
I love the name. That's why.
Okay, Hangzhou, and it's Hangzhou, and the nickname that it's been given by the people in China is Heaven on Earth. So this is a place where
must be well hung, Joe.
If you have, you're terrible. I can't believe you're going there. Yes, I can. See, the people in China would not get that joke, but it's a city, you might have heard of it because it hosted the G20 summit in 2016, and the culinary scene there is incredible. Every season you go, you're going to try something new. Right now in the fall, it's the season for the crab, and they make this dish that it's the hairy crab, and they put it in with oranges, and it's a baked orange that has the pulp of the orange plus the crab meat, and they bake it, and it's something that they used to serve during the dynasties to the emperors, and I was lucky enough to try it, and I'm going to tweet out a video of me trying this dish later.
Please.
If it's called the hairy crab, no wonder it's dynasty.
I thought about saying, Okay, I'm going to shift gears because China was awesome, but it was just, and it's such a natural place. If you've been to Beijing and you've already done the Great Wall and you've done the Forbidden City, Hangzhou is another place to go to just kind of get the whole natural side of China. And the first National Wetlands Park is also there. So that's just a place really, really far away.
There you go.
Really awesome.
And today's National Parks Day, so it doesn't have to be an American national park.
Excellent.
All right. And what was the closer one?
There you go. So closer to home, this time of year, September and October, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, rolls out this deal, this promotions, where they call this, 60 more days of summer. They officially extend summer by 2 more months. So what I love about this year, they're doing something different. They're adding wellness to the theme. So not only do you get 2 more months of summer, but you also get 2 more months of wellness. And Robin, you'll love this. A couple of the places have packages where you're going to get spa treatments or spa credits, and who doesn't want that? So that's really great. There's also some great perks all over the city that are free. So Thursday nights they're going to do free bike riding. If you go to PD Cycle Shop, there's a 10-mile ride that they're going to do, and if you didn't bring your own bike, if you mention the 60 days of summer, they will rent one to you for free. So that's great. Saturday mornings, free yoga Saturday mornings on the beach, and one more freebie, free massages Saturday afternoons in North Myrtle Beach at Barefoot Landing. So freebies are great, and you can start it right off by going to visitmyrtlebeach.com and downloading a 16-minute guided meditation. So now, Larry, I bet you're not a yoga guy.
Right. Correct.
Oh, you?
Correct. No.
I'm right.
No.
Okay. Here's what I want you to do. This is your assignment, and you can do this on your computer since I know you can't do it on your track phone. But you can download this meditation and listen to it. It is just so soothing, and I don't recommend listening to it in the car because you will totally fall asleep. It's so relaxing. But they have set up these meditation places all over the city. So whether you go to Brook Green Gardens, which is this gorgeous European-style garden, and that focus on smell, or if you go to the pier, the Myrtle Beach State Park, you're going to focus on sound. And if you go on the Sky Wheel, you can focus on sight. They've got something for each of the senses. And for the Sky Wheel, they also have a gondola that's a special relaxation gondola, and it's got these pillows in it, and if you mention the 60 Days of Summer promotion, you'll get a discount. So it's, again, that you will feel like you're out of this world, especially just listening to that guided meditation. I promise you.
You got me going to Myrtle Beach.
Rolling your eye.
Yeah, I think I'll pick Myrtle Beach before Hangzhou. Stephanie, you're always fun. Thank you so much for being on the air with us today. If you're ever in Florida, come and say hi in the studio.
Thanks for having me, and I will. I'm putting it on my bucket list to go to Ocala because I would love to see you guys, and I'd love that tube on the river. That sounds great.
Oh, you would really, truly love that one. Thank you, Stephanie. All right, we will be right back.
Hi, I'm Seth with AA Lock, Dock, and Security. Have you ever thought about the locks or security on your house or business? Have you ever wondered why the keys to your new car cost so much? Well, at AA Lock, Dock, and Security, we can help with securing your valuables. We can even replace those expensive transponder keys. We can give you the knowledge that no one else will. Call AA Lock, Dock, and Security at 867-1965. That's 867-1965.
Hang tough, baby. It's rodeo time in Ocala. The 35th annual Ocala Shrine Pro Rodeo returns September 1st and 2nd, 7:30 nightly. Witness America's #1 sport in the greatest show on dirt as cowboys ride to help children walk. It all happens rain or shine in the covered arena at the Southeastern Livestock Pavilion. For tickets and information, call 352-402-8808. Don't miss the rodeo in Ocala.
Here are today's headlines from The Source, WOCA, Florida.